Hey, this is Ruth Hartunian Ellenba, otherwise known as Ravings and Cravings. I am coming to you today from my dining room table, and I was really upset on a recent episode when my theme song was not played. Therefore, I recorded my theme song and I played it on the piano. So here you go, for those of you who need to hear this, because otherwise, how are you going to know that I'm even on the radio? Because eating is an adventure. Yeah. I love that chord right there. All right, now we can begin.
Got it.
I am, like I said, I'm here at my dining room table, and I'm going to, should I say Zachary or
Yeah.
Zach? Zachary
Zach,
Moran?
Zachary, yeah.
I should say doctor, because I knew you before you were a doctor.
You did.
How many years have we known each other?
Uh, it's got to be at least a decade.
I was going to say a
At
decade.
least a decade.
Maybe 8 years or so.
Yeah.
I'm here with Dr. Zachary Moran, and he is the main guy and I'm going to let him say the name of the business, the address, the hours, and your phone number. Let's go for that.
Sure. I run a medical practice called Roots Natural Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Columbia, Connecticut, 106 Route 66 East. We share space with Crossroads Physical Therapy, if you're familiar with them. And we are open Monday through Friday. The morning hours fluctuate, but usually around 7 to 7:30 in the morning up until about 5 p.m.
Oh, that's nice and early.
We try and cater a little bit outside the working hours.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And what was the last piece? Is that it?
Oh, your phone number?
Phone number, 860-471-1434.
Okay. And I should, at this point, I should have mentioned at the beginning, shout out to Allen Package Store for sponsoring this program. You are listening to WILI, which is 14 AM, 95.3 FM. I'll get this in order someday. I just have too many important things to talk about. So talk about the difference between naturopathic medicine and the holistic field and the medical.
Sure.
Give us the compare and contrasty thing.
Sure. Yeah, so naturopathic medicine is what I've been trained in. It's our focus at our clinic. It's a form of holistic medicine or alternative medicine is what it's classified as.
Mm-hmm.
It's widely practiced across a lot of the continents as primary medicine, but in the United States, conventional or allopathic medicine is more popular. That's where you go see, your specialists or your hospital visits. Mm-hmm. The difference mostly is, I would say, in the approach between preventative and holistic, which is more of my practice, versus a reactive and acute care model. So the allopathic model is going to see, well, we're seeing this problem. It has already arisen. It's urgent. We need to address it now. Mm-hmm. Let's approach it acutely. That's antibiotics. That's surgery. That's an approach that we've adopted as a reactive medical model. Naturopathic medicine has been around for a very long time. We use more natural therapies. We're using lifestyle medicine. We're using nutrition. We're using diet.
What's lifestyle medicine? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, we tie in things from acupuncture, manual medicine, hands-on medicine. We do things from nutritional standpoints, herbal medicine. We use exercise. We use diet. We use a variety of therapies that the people can utilize safely, effectively to prevent disease patterns. And actually, we do treat commonly at our practice even significant disease patterns. We focus on autoimmune disease, cancer. We do a lot of metabolic disease. So we're helping all stages of the disease process.
Wow, that's a broad process.
Yes, yeah.
So, why this field? I knew you. Mm-hmm. My first point of entry, as far as knowing you, was as a CrossFit gym trainer, and you probably still do that kind of fun stuff. And that was my point of entry because I was a student in your class. But why did you jump ship and go to where you are now? And while you're answering that question, I'm going to make sure my timer's running.
You got it.
Go ahead.
All right. So my background is in exercise science, sports medicine, and nutrition. It's always been a focus of mine since a kid. I've always enjoyed exercising, enjoyed sports, and and I've been raised and lucky enough to be raised in a family that is more preventative in medicine. They focus on health. They focus on eating well and quality. And so when I was interested in pursuing the field of medicine, I was in the world of CrossFit and health and nutrition and getting people in a personal training sense to a healthier lifestyle. Medicine in an allopathic standpoint or conventional standpoint, like we talked about, was not catering to those principles. They weren't looking at nutrition. They weren't looking at health of the individual. They were looking at the disease process and how to kind of supplement medicine to overcome a symptom but not correct the health of the individual. And so after talking to shadowing and working with numerous amounts of health professionals in the allopathic world, I came to the conclusion it wasn't what I foresaw myself doing long term, and I wanted to pursue something that really matched what I enjoyed. Was working toward getting people healthy and working nutritional exercise, working with their diet and their lifestyle to prevent disease and include more of a health focus. And so I actually jumped ship from medical school track into the naturopathic track, and it was an easy, quick, just match made in heaven kind of thing. And it just worked.
So that you found your kind of happy place there?
It was just, yeah. I mean, as soon as I started in medical school, it was I just was so obsessed with learning all the nuances, and there's so much that can be applied right away. So it worked out great, and I'm super grateful to be in the field that I am and be able to offer the care that I do.
So what kind of training do you have in that kind of field, in your field?
Yeah, so it's the same duration of time as a medical professional. We do the same first 2 years of medical school, the same hard sciences, and then the third and fourth years are typically more of a hands-on approach. You're shadowing, you're starting to learn more of the nuances. In naturopathic school, we include more modalities. So nutrition, we include chiropractic work, we do acupuncture, we do herbal medicine, we do lifestyle medicine.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
So we actually include more curriculum into the naturopathic because we're expanding our toolbox, we call it, for treatment strategies. We do still focus on pharmaceuticals because our patients are coming in with pharmaceutical prescriptions. We don't trend to use them as often. We use them as needed. And the big difference is surgical. We don't do any surgical intervention. That's really more of a specialty in the conventional space.
So what are the common things you're seeing these days? What are the most common things as far as health issues that you're seeing come through your doors?
Well, so I'm biased because my field of practice, and I've started to more specialize, is in chronic complex disease patterns. So a lot of people come to me.
Well, you went for the tough stuff here, didn't you? You couldn't make it easy, could you? You had to go for the complicated thing.
I didn't want to.
Chronic means complicated. Right?
Usually, yes, unfortunately. And it was honestly just out of demand. Enough people were coming with these concerns, saying, I don't have answers for this, my doctors don't have answers for this, and out of my own personality, I just had curiosity. Why? I'd like to answer that question, understand things. And so I spent a lot of time deep diving, understanding what the patterns were, why they occurred. And commonalities in the field include a lot of gastrointestinal root causes, which tie back to nutrition, what you're eating, what you're ingesting, including the medications you're taking, or supplements, or anything else that's ingested. And so a lot of my focus has to do with gastrointestinal disorders, whether it's autoimmune like celiac or Crohn's or colitis. I'll see a lot of patients with just generalized IBS diagnoses, which is just basically a symptom of discomfort in the gastrointestinal tract. And then I'm starting to see a lot more neurological disorders, unfortunately.
Really?
We're seeing a lot more people with even younger populations with anything from, memory lapses to motor function disorders or some type of neuropathies. It's expanding and growing, and so we're trying to understand what's the origin of that as well.
That's surprising to me. The neurological aspect of things.
Yeah, and I think it ties into our lifestyles and what we're being exposed to, and we're not catering to our brains with quality sleep anymore, or we're not catering to our brains with quality nutrition anymore. There's some details there.
So tell me what you think is quality nutrition.
Sure.
What is that? Because I'm going to take notes on that one because I'm totally failing on that. Although I did really good this morning. You know what I had for breakfast?
What is it?
I had fish for breakfast.
Wow, you don't hear that
you
every
proud of
day.
me?
That's great.
Well, Jesus ate fish at breakfast.
Why not? It doesn't have to
Cutting
be.
the carbs.
It doesn't have to be just breakfast foods.
Oh, it
breakfast.
doesn't? That's right. That's right. So I had fish for breakfast, and I don't care what I have when, but what's a good quality diet? So you're proud of me, huh?
Sure, I am. Good start. And this is actually speaking to that. I do talk to people a lot about this, and typically in America we eat a lot of processed carbohydrates for breakfast. And that's like the typical pancakes, waffles, bagels, yeah,
cereal.
It's a limited nutritional source of food. You're not getting a lot out of those foods for you to run off throughout the day, and you want to eat a quality breakfast that you're going to be able to pull resources from the rest of the day. Fish is a good option. Why not?
I don't know why not. Yeah, unless it's like, I don't know, like fish. Some have mercury, and I guess the quality of the fish. I guess you got to watch that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So speaking to that, I mean, so tying that in, you are what your food eats or comes from. So the content of the food is actually built upon what they're fed. So if you look at animal proteins, beef, chicken, if you feed those animals something that's nutrient dense, they absorb that nutrition just like we absorb our nutrition, and they are a better source of nutrition for you when you consume them. So sourcing matters, right, to a significant variable. Where you get your food. That's why I love locally sourced things, because they're not traveling for weeks to get to you. They were recently picked or recently harvested, and there's good nutrition still left in them. I also like locally sourced because they're probably coming from a garden or a local farmer, meaning they're a single food nutrient, meaning a fruit, a vegetable, something that you can find in nature. And that's what we've been evolved to eat. We're not used to eating highly complex processed foods. The 15, 16, 17 list of ingredients on a package that lasts for 10 years on the shelf, that's foreign to our body. We're not used to consuming that.
Right.
So when you look at food as a nutrition, you want to look at, is this fueling me? Is this something I'd find in nature? Where did it come from? And then we want to limit those processed foods. We want to limit the sugar. Those are things that's going to hinder our progress in our health.
So talk a little bit about these fad diets that are out there. What are some of the ones that, in your professional opinion, that we should basically just like walk away from? Step away from the table. Don't even do that.
Yeah. So in my field, I've learned to never discount anything. There is a time and place for almost anything. And it's all individualized, and that's kind of the nuance, unfortunately. So when I just spoke to whole food diets, that's for everyone. You want to eat a good amount of protein, a good amount of fruits and vegetables. You want variety is great. You want single sourced foods, stuff coming from nature. And then from that umbrella category, you can fine tune it based upon your lifestyle demands. You're 80 years old, you sit at home, you're not running marathons, your diet's going to be different than the 10-year-old who's running soccer practice.
Because not everyone's the same.
Exactly.
So even though I may look at something and I say, oh, wow, you lost that much in that amount of time.
Yeah.
But that's just you.
Right.
That's not.
There's difference in your activity level. So, someone who's more, and this is kind of a general principle, someone who's more sedentary versus active, you can scale the carbohydrate load. Carbs are the only macronutrient that is actually not necessary for survival.
Really?
So fat and proteins are necessary for survival. Carbohydrates are not. You can go, that's why technically you can live on a keto or carnivore diet and not actually, have any huge health decline.
What about oatmeal?
But oatmeal's so good. No, I mean, there's good fiber in carbohydrates and some of the good quality carbohydrates, and there's some nutrients in them. And so if you're exercising at a high level, if you're running marathons, if you're a young kid who's growing and on the move, you're going to need some of those carbohydrates because you need that fuel to keep going, right? But as we age, and if we're more sedentary, we're not growing as much, we probably want to scale those carbohydrates down because they're going to stay just in our system and store.
Okay.
So it's general trend. Yeah.
So for you personally, like you're highly active, you work out.
Yeah.
What's your diet like? What do you eat?
So, so there's a ton of nuance. I've done a lot of testing on myself, got a curiosity.
Yeah, well, you're your own best subject, right?
Absolutely. And you got to figure it out before you can help others figure it out. So,
Yeah.
I'm a blood type O, and blood type can play a role in what your body is actually does better for fuel sourcing. So, blood type O's typically do better on higher protein diets. We're evolved to have higher acidity in our stomachs, so we digest it easier. And so I actually do well on higher protein diets. So I eat a paleo style diet, which just means more of a caveman style diet. They nicknamed it, right? So it's
I
going
like
to be
that.
more animal proteins. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, but I trend away from the simple carbohydrates, the rice, the pasta, the breads. I try and avoid a lot of those simple carbohydrates unless I'm doing really high intensity, long duration exercise where I need more of those carbohydrates. So morning for me, I actually typically eat salad in the morning. I'll add some protein to my salad.
I'm with you on that. I would
Yeah.
do that, sure.
Yeah,
Throw
and
some beets on there, and it's a good day, huh?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I enjoy the salad. It's got some good fiber in there. It's going to give me some satiety throughout the day, but the protein on top of it, sometimes I'll include some fruit on top of it, nuts and seeds. Variety is great, flavor, change it up a little bit. And then lunchtime, I'll try and eat another large source meal of adequate protein and then fruits and vegetables. And I actually trend to eating less in the evening.
Oh,
I try
okay.
and eat more in the middle of the day, earlier in the day. Later in the day, I'm not doing as much activity, so I don't need as much caloric ingestion.
You're right. Yeah, I see. So, what is the age span as far as the people that you treat, and how young, how old? What do
So,
you got?
I all ages. I've seen a 2 month old up to a
2 months.
96
Wow.
year old. So again, it's pending the need and the demand of the patient. I'll see patients for reasons that there's commonalities in all ages and all genders.
So, what was the 2-month-old struggling with, and what was the older person like? What were the differences?
The 2 month old was colic, of course.
So, you can do something with colic?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of times colic is associated with poor gastrointestinal motility. Sometimes it's what the mother's ingesting if they're breastfeeding. Sometimes it's what the baby's ingesting
Right.
in the
Yeah.
formulas. So those are some things that we can talk about and switch up and see the progress with. And then in the older individual, it was I believe it was cardiovascular. So we were helping them with their blood pressure and just adjusting some of that.
Blood pressure.
Yeah.
So, how do you, on a nutrition level, address blood pressure?
Yeah, so blood pressure is a broad term. It can be variety of causes, but typically there is an association to an inflammation or what foods are consumed, or there's a lot of reasons. Nutritional deficiencies can create blood pressure causes. In their circumstance, there's a really relatively simple fix. They were under consuming a few nutrients. They needed some more support with hydration. We adjusted. It didn't need any medication. Actually, they came off medication afterwards.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, and
That's
they were very
awesome.
happy about that.
That would be a happy moment too when you don't have to take medication.
Yeah.
I tell you, medications are, personally, I try to avoid them at all costs if
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, time and place for everything, and
Yeah.
there's some that people need, but in general, medications are designed to overcome a symptom, but not to fix root causes. And so we typically see is if chronic use of medications are more of a band-aid approach.
Yeah. Where'd the name of your business come from?
Roots was part of my philosophy. I don't like managing symptoms. As a patient, I would not want to be just reliant on something, whether it was natural or pharmaceutical, to overcome a problem I'm dealing with. So my objective in my clinic would to be find the root cause of your problem, address it, fix it, correct it, and that way you don't need reliance. It's the principle of teaching someone to fish instead of supplying them fish.
Fish again. Here
There
we
you
are,
go.
fish. So if you could say anything you wanted here at this point, I want to give you like carte blanche
Okay.
to speak to the audience, because I think there are a lot of people who listen to this
Yeah,
program,
yeah.
and talk about what you think is most important today. I'm going to just let the go with the flow thing, okay?
Most
And I'm
important
going to check my
today.
clock again.
Sure.
Go for it.
Most important today. I think, quickly what comes to mind is day to day is so busy. We're so busy with the tasks of the day. We're so
True.
busy with all the responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
We sometimes neglect ourselves, our
Mm-hmm.
health, the details. We don't always get the walk in that we wanted to, or we run and quickly
True.
grab some food out of the, a quick counter service or fast food. And I think, making sure that we try and find time for ourselves, um, in a way that promotes some long term growth and
Mm-hmm.
not just keeping your head above water, which I feel like a lot of people are these days. There's
Mm-hmm.
so much demand, but giving yourself an opportunity to progress in your health journey, right? So whether that's spending a few minutes on some rest and relaxation, spending a few minutes on some exercise, spending some few minutes on nutrition, or getting a few minutes of extra sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in time, I advocate for people to cater to themselves a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah, and when you talk about that, to me, or the way that I translate that into my brain, and you can just say, "Oh, you understood," or "You totally lost, you lost me." It's just it's the psychological and emotional aspect of how we believe we should take care of ourselves.
Hmm.
You're a busy guy. You have your business. You have a family with small children. It's not like you're sitting around going, well, let's see, what should I do next?
Yeah,
Your day is often, with small children
sure.
especially, you kind of know what the day is going to be like.
Yeah,
But I think many of us don't take the time because we think there are other things that are maybe more important,
yeah,
or even the fear of success.
yeah. Well, so
No.
if you don't take time now, it it's going to be demanded of you later. So
So do it early on. Do it
prevent,
early
cater
intervention
to
too.
yourself now,
Yeah.
so that you're not trying to play catch up later.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
when things slowly roll downhill, they become bigger problems,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can't pour from an empty cup. I always tell people,
True.
right? So if you've got a
Mm-hmm.
ton of demands, if you and I have a lot of demands on myself, but if
Mm-hmm.
I don't take care of myself, everyone else around me suffers because I have less to give.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Yep.
that's my focus, is if I can't get that 30 minutes of movement in, if
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat well that
Mm-hmm.
day, stay hydrated, whatever it may be, even just simple things, get enough sleep that night,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be less able to give the next day,
Mm-hmm.
or provide the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's for myself and those around me. So
Yeah.
I do
Yep.
advocate for a lot of patients to
Mm-hmm.
just really just focus on even the small details. Where can I improve? A little bit goes a long way, especially if you're compounding it over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if people want to get a hold of you to get their lives in order, how would they do that? What would be the best way to do that, Zachary?
So our website is probably an easy resource for patients. We have a ton of information. We try and provide a lot of information on our content on our social media pages.
Mm-hmm.
We try and provide easy access. Remotely, we do telemedicine. We do
Oh,
across the
great.
country. We're seeing patients.
Nice.
And even just relying on some of the blogs and such that we provide is easy tools to start implementing in your own
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
So our website is rootsmedicalcenter.com.
Mm-hmm. So it's ROO
ROTS.
ROOTS.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
Phone number was
860-471-1434.
And just a little shout out too to Faith Cafe, because
Totally.
if you want to eat well, that's a good place to go.
Yeah.
It's on the same. You can do like one stop shopping. You can get your physical therapy services. You can get a massage on site. I know that too.
Yeah.
You can. Faith Cafe has gluten free, dairy free, quality, excellent food made
Yeah.
from that tiny little kitchen.
Yeah.
If you want a burger with bacon, you can have it. But if you want a macro bowl, you can have that
That's it.
too. Donuts too. They even have
We
donuts.
do cater to the donuts on Wednesdays.
I know, which is really awesome. So like you can eat there on site. What other services are provided on site there? Did I
Yep,
miss
Roots
something?
is there. So we have a full wellness center there. We
Okay.
have multiple gyms. We have a CrossFit gym there on site. We hold classes. We hold all types of fitness classes. So we just cater to, we're growing and we're catering to as many aspects of the health journey as possible for our patients.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Dr. Zachary Moran, thank you for being with me
Thank you
today
for having
here
me.
on Ravings and Cravings. This is Ruth Hartunian Allenbaugh. I am signing off here on Good Company, WILI.